A lot of people have strong feelings about this next subject. New Canadians could soon have the option to skip their citizenship ceremony and take the oath online. It's one way the federal government is looking to cut down on processing times, but after asking the public to weigh in, some called it a disgrace. A travesty, I think that was a word also used. So do you think this would be a disgrace, James?
Well, as a new Canadian, in case anyone hadn't noticed, this is not a New Brunswick accent. As a new...
do it online.
I unfortunately had to do my ceremony online due to that kind of end of the world thing that happened last 3 years. And it was heartbreaking. I mean, since I first visited Canada in the year 2000 and fell in love with this country and fell in love with the welcoming nature of the people and everything about it, it was my dream to become a Canadian. So obviously, when I finally got round to applying and had lived here long enough and did the citizenship test, which I'm sure you know what the citizenship test involves. It involves learning the answers to questions that no Canadian could answer.
You know them.
I know them. And I was so excited. The ceremony was coming up, and it was revealed that, of course, because of COVID, it had to be via Zoom. I was heartbroken, and my wife said, "Never mind, we'll throw a big party so that you won't notice, right? You can have the ceremony." And I thought, yes, that'll work. Like a community, friends, neighbours. And then 3 days before my ceremony, we got thrown into another lockdown. So my citizenship ceremony, having dreamed of the pomp and the ceremony and the Mounties marching, and when I did imagine it, right? I imagined the entire cast of Due North would be kind of like walking around. All the Trailer Park Boys would be there. Like, I had all these big ideas. And instead, it ended up being me sat alone at the desk that I've been sat at for 3 years doing Zoom gigs, doing my ceremony, and basically sat there alone singing "Oh Canada" very badly into a computer. Which was obviously heartbreaking, but necessary. And I will say that I love the pomp and the ceremony, and it really was mortifying I couldn't do it. However, there is some legitimacy to what the government is saying, in that, like, there are lots of people who are here, who have come here for reasons far less fortunate than my own. People who are here not through choice, who are waiting for family members to come, or family members that have come, that want to start working. And there is a backlog. So I think that our Immigration Minister, Sean Fraser, is really trying his best to make this happen quickly so that people's families can be together. There is a reason for it, so why can't we do both?
Exactly.
Offer the option.
Right?
I think it's even, now that I think we learned things from COVID. We learned that a lot of things that we thought could not happen online can happen online.
Absolutely. You can make things special. Like, I'm sat at my desk worrying that this is not the same, but I made it special because I wore these socks. That made it special.
It's so special. But, you were in a very fortunate situation, as you said.
Exactly.
But there are people who are living in remote parts of the country who can't afford to make the big trip. There are people who have disabilities.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who, I mean, my husband, for example, he has someone who works for him, and he came here from Iraq. And the thing is, he would have to take a full day off work, unpaid, to go to the ceremony. Not that he didn't want to go, but there was a price to be paid for the ceremony. I called my mom and I said, "Mom, do you remember your citizenship ceremony?" She goes, "Oh, yes, like it was yesterday." And it was so, I mean, not to say that you missed out on something, but it was pretty awesome for her. And she said it was like you dressed up, there was such a solemnity and a pride. And she said what it also was bonding between people who were also choosing to make Canada their new home, and met people that she still knows today. So yes, there is, of course, something so special about being in person, but I think COVID taught us it doesn't have to be in person, and it can still get the job done.
And it doesn't have to be special for everyone.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I understand. I think it was special for you, and I would never want to take that away from you or your mother. But I also feel like the attitude of the people who are calling this a disgrace and a travesty misunderstands what Canada's relationship with its immigrant population can and should be. it sets up this hierarchy where the nation receiving immigrants is the one doing these people a favor.
Right.
You should be grateful to us forever. And the fact of the matter right now is that Canada needs immigrants.
Yes.
The Canadian government is actively being, like making itself attractive to people from around the world because our workforce is slowing down. We need people to come here. We are in need. So then to tell those people, that if you don't want the special ceremony, you're a disgrace if you just want to click a button because you're not grateful enough and you need to be so thankful.
I don't think the government is saying that, to be clear.
The people who are criticizing these decisions. To those people, I say, it's not a one-size-fits-all citizenship. You can be a citizen who this country needs more than you might need the country. And in that case, why are you asking these people to like flag wave when essentially they're coming here to do us a favor? So I just want to make it clear because sometimes with patriotism and nationalism, we go way overboard to the point where it's not Canadian to force Canadianness on people. And I think that is what I want. And again, I love your story. I just don't think it has to be everybody's story.
Absolutely, and that's the amazing thing. I mean, the reason that I fell in love with this country and why everyone falls in love with Canada is it's amazing that the second biggest country in the world can feel like this small community. And it's an amazing thing. It's because you've created this in the big cities, the small towns, this sense of belonging, and crucially, the way in which you welcome immigrants. So, to your point, you know, I mean, in many cases, you know, there's hard-to-fill jobs which are being filled so gratefully by, you know, we're so grateful to people coming here and doing those things, but also there are people coming here not through choice, and this is why this country is such a great country. I come from a place where politicians are constantly using offensive rhetoric, trying to clamp down on immigration, and I love the fact that we're in a country here where we welcome people for all kinds of different reasons, and ultimately the end game, regardless of a ceremony or no ceremony, should be one thing and one thing only, and that is holding up. That's what it's all about, right?
Yes.
Just having this. And look, I mean, look, I'm still so proud. 2 years later, I'm still carrying it around with me everywhere.
So good.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.